Alright, welcome to the second daily profile. Alright, so in this video, I will explain in detail about the New York Open Reversal. So, what is a New York Open Reversal? Alright, so this daily profile is just like a classic buy day or classic sell day at first, initially, but instead of continuation at the New York Kill Zone, the price will reverse at the New York Kill Zone or London close. As we can see right here, it always begins just like a classic buy day or a classic sell day, but it reverses at the New York local time. It reverses at the New York Kill Zone or London close, which is around noon time. Alright? So, this happens when we reach a strong higher time frame PD array or point of interest. If you remember, I have already discussed about the New York Open Reversal before. This video, I will explain it more in detail. And also, if you remember, the introduction to the daily profile, I have already showed a lot of samples of New York Open Reversal. Alright? So, for our first example, I will show you an example of a bearish New York Open Reversal. We opened at 12 a.m. midnight open, New York local time. Right? Like I said, always set your time zone into the New York local time. As we can see here, price opened at midnight open and then it went down, creating the low of the day initially at the London Kill Zone. This is right after reaching a higher time frame point of interest or the taking out liquidity. Alright? So that is the reason why the price reacted in this area. As we can see, we created the low of the day at London Kill Zone. Alright, so the price went up higher until we reach a higher time frame point of interest also at the New York Kill Zone. It might be a 1 hour fair value gap, a 15-minute order block, or any higher time frame point of interest. Alright? So as we can see, after reaching that higher time frame point of interest, at the same time taking out that equal highs, the market shifted lower, retracing higher. This is our perfect entry. If you entered right there, as we can see, the price continued lower. Alright? You can aim for only 1 to 2 risk to reward or target the nearest sell side liquidity. Alright, so first remember, New York Open Reversal is a reversal, not a continuation on the New York Kill Zone. Alright? If you remember, in the classic buy day, we created the low of the day in the London Kill Zone and then shifted higher. Then the price retraces in the New York Kill Zone and continues higher. But in the New York Open Reversal, instead of retracing lower and continuing higher, the price reverses right here, as you can see, right? So, how do we anticipate this New York Open Reversal? It is very easy, right? So when we are reaching the New York Kill Zone, look at the higher time frame if there is a nearest higher time frame point of interest or a higher time frame liquidity. Yes, that's all you need to do. And as we can see here, reversal in the New York kill zone. So it creates a low of the day at London kill zone, and then reach a higher time frame PD array at New York kill zone, and then reverses lower. Alright, so here is a live market example, right? So as we can see here, we opened at 12 a.m. midnight open. Price went up, created the low of the day. Right here, we have here swing low in London kill zone. Then the price went up. If you look at the left side of the chart, you will see a high time frame point of interest. That high time frame point of interest, we expect the price to react in that PD array. Alright, so as we can see right here, after taking out that equal highs, the price started to reject and completely reversed lower. Always remember, PD arrays are very important. Always look at the higher time frame PD arrays. So with this knowledge alone, you can know exactly when to enter. If you go into the lower time frame of this area, you will see an entry setup, a fair value gap, a BPR, a breaker block, or an order block entry. Right? Alright, so here is an example for the bullish New York Open reversal. Once again, this is just the same with the first one. The only difference is the price action. We created initially the high of the day in the London kill zone and then reverses at the New York kill zone. So as we can see right here, price opened at 12 a.m. midnight open and then went higher, reaching a higher time frame point of interest or liquidity. And then it reverses lower, alright? This is initially the high of the day. Then the price reached a higher time frame point of interest at the New York kill zone, alright? It might be once again a 1 hour fair value gap, a 15-minute fair value gap. It might be 1 hour order block or 15-minute order block, any of the point of interest or PD array that I have mentioned so far in this mentorship, right? So as we can see, the price reached into that higher time frame point of interest. At the same time, we took out this equal lows right here. The price shifted higher and then retraces lower. Right here, if you look at the lower time frame, you can see a perfect entry, a fair value gap, or a breaker block right here. You can aim for only 1 to 2 risk to reward or target the nearest buy side liquidity. And as we can see, the price continued higher. You don't need to catch this whole movement until the top. You only need to be a part of it, right? You can enter right here and you can take your profit right here. You don't need to catch this whole move, right? If you try to do that, you are being greedy, and that is not a good practice for your trading psychology, right? We created the high of the day at the London kill zone, and then at the New York kill zone, we reach a higher time frame PD array and then reverses higher. This is reverses higher, right? So let's go on into the live market example. Alright, so as we can see right here, price opened at 12 a.m. midnight open. The price opened and then went up, creating initially the high of the day at the London kill zone. Alright, if you look at the lower time frame, you can see an entry setup right here, and then you can enter short position until we reach this 1 hour fair value gap. Alright, so as we can see, we created initially the high of the day, then the price went down and reached the 1 hour fair value gap. This is a higher time frame PD array, and we expect the price to react in these levels. Alright, as we can see, price took out this swing low right here, sells a liquidity taken, and the price reversed higher. So this retracement right here, if you go into the lower time frame, you will see an entry setup. Alright, you can enter right here, target for only 1 to 2, risk to reward, or you can aim the nearest buy side liquidity. Right? You don't need to catch this whole move until here. Alright? You can only be a part of it. You don't need to catch this whole trade. As you can see, the price beautifully went up higher, taking out this buy side liquidity and maybe taking out another buy side liquidity right here. Alright? So let's go into the live market examples. Alright, so this is a beautiful example of New York Open Reversal. Alright, as we can see right here, we have a 1 hour fair value gap right here. Alright, let's mark it out. 1 hour fair value gap. Also, we have a 1 hour order block right here. This is our last line of defense. Alright, now let's go on into the New York kill zone. Alright, by the way, I'm currently on Euro USD. So let's mark it out 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Alright, so as we can see, the price went down and respected this final line of defense, our 1 hour order block. And as we can see right here in the 5-minute time frame, we can see a very clean setup. We took out this sell side liquidity right here. The price shifted higher. This is what we call now a breaker block. So how do we use this breaker block? Are we going to use this wick or the body? We are going to use the body because it is the nearest area that is near this fair value gap. Alright, so let's mark it out. 15 minutes breaker block. You could have entered right here in this fair value gap, stop loss right here, the swing low, and aim for only 1 to 2 risk to reward. Alright, and as we can see, the price went into it right away, hitting our take profit. Or you could have also aimed for this nearest buy side liquidity, and as we can see, we could have had 2.9 risk to reward. Alright, so that is always up to you into what kind of trader are you. Are you conservative or are you aggressive? So if we look closely once again into this chart, we created the high of the day in the London kill zone. Alright, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. This is our London kill zone, and this is our New York kill zone. So as we can see, the price created the high of the day initially at the London kill zone. As we can see, we took out this buy side liquidity. When this happened, we can go into the lower time frame and try to look for our entry. Alright, so as we can see right here, this is a very beautiful entry. Right, we have a fair value gap right here, right after the buy side liquidity sweep. Alright, you could have entered right here. Stop loss is just around here in the body, aiming for only 1 to 2 risk to reward or the nearest sell side liquidity. All right, if you aim for this sell side liquidity and this, let's see how much risk to reward we can get. All right, so that's about 1 to 2. That's good enough. If you want to aim for 1 to 2 risk to reward, as we can see, the price went through it right away. So this is how we use the New York Open reversal. All right, so I will show you another example. All right, so here is another example for the bearish New York Open reversal. All right, so first let's go into the London kill zone. Let's mark it out, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. All right, so as we can see right here at the London kill zone, the price took out the previous daily low, right? After taking out that previous daily low, the price shifted higher. As we can see, it created the low of the day in the London kill zone initially, and then the price continued higher. And if you look at the higher time frame, you can see around the New York kill zone from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. the price took out this buy side liquidity, right? At the same time, reacting into this order block right here, right? This is a higher time frame point of interest, all right? So if we expect the price to react in those area, all right? So if you look at the lower time frame, we should see an entry setup right here, right? So as we can see right here, after taking out that buy side liquidity and reacting into the 15-minute order block, we have here a fair value gap, a beautiful fair value gap. All right, we can enter right here. You can place your stop loss above the swing high, and you can aim for 1 to 2 risk to reward or the nearest sell side liquidity. So as we can see, the price retraced up, consolidated a bit, and went straight into the take profit. See that? Very beautiful. All right, so this is how the New York Open reversal happens. All right, we create the low or high of the day initially at London kill zone, and then at the New York bull zone there is a reversal if we reach a higher time frame point of interest. All right, so always look at the higher time frame. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you learned a lot. If you are having a hard time grasping this, don't worry, I will give you a lot of examples coming in the next videos. Also, always take down notes and practice this in your own chart. Observe this happening in your own chart. This knowledge, this concept, these daily profiles happens every single day. It might be a classic sell day, it might be a classic buy day, it might be a New York Open reversal that is bullish, or a bearish New York Open reversal. Alright? If none of those, we are not taking a trade. Alright? It might be a seek and destroy profile. Alright? So practice this, learn this, do the work, and you will see that this works and that this happens every single day. Alright? So that's it for this video. I will see you next one.